Thank you, Tim. Ladies and gentlemen, I have never been so optimistic about the future of Tasmania. Tasmania stands at the crossroads or the intersection of three great global imperatives that offer opportunity, opportunity, opportunity for this state. They are, of course, the management of scarce water resources and the only ever increasing value of water and its nexus with food security in this nation. The rapid race of the telecommunications, high-speed optic fibre and the transformative power of those technologies for business, homes, hospitals and schools, and the imperative in a carbon-constrained world for creating sustainable and renewable energy. In each of these three great global imperatives, Tasmania has a natural advantage and has great opportunity that we must and will seize. In water, we get 12% of all of Australia's rainfall falling on just 1.5% of its landmass. That's why we're investing in $400 million worth of irrigation projects, bookended at the other end with a complete paddock-to-plate strategy, making Tasmania the food bowl of the nation, enhancing our tourism brand through high-end food and wine tourism. Through our paddock-to-plate strategy, through telecommunications, we will invest in rolling out optic fibre to 200,000 homes, businesses and schools, and we will become, and already are, the renewable energy powerhouse of the nation and of Southeast Asia. The key to unlocking all of these three great opportunities is, of course, developing new generation skills for the new generation industries through a world-class education system. If we get those four things right, we will have unlocked population, productivity and participation.
All right, thank you, Premier. Now to the Liberal leader, Will Hodgman. Will.
Thanks very much, Tim, and congratulations to the TCCI for continuing to engage in public policy debate. The more, the better. Ladies and gentlemen, I share David's optimism for the future of our great state. Despite some storm clouds, our potential remains immense. And if we're courageous enough during these challenging times to make some tough decisions now and to plan properly for our future, we can emerge from this downturn stronger and on a more resilient and sustainable economic footing. But nothing angers me more than seeing opportunities missed, or being told that we should accept second best, or a government that makes excuses and says it needs another chance to deliver what it's promised. That is a luxury we cannot afford. Now, tomorrow marks the 11th anniversary of the election of the Labor government in Tasmania, a decade of some of our strongest economic years, yet a decade marked by missed opportunity. And despite record spending, many problems in our public services remain. Our low education results are unacceptable, hospital lists are longer, our infrastructure is collapsing, and Tasmania needs leadership from a government that is trusted to make the right decisions for the right reasons. And a government I lead will be one that is results driven. It will be fiscally disciplined, it will give confidence to our local businesses that we back to create jobs and opportunities for Tasmanians and to drive our economic and social development. I have a vision and a commitment to make Tasmania the most competitive place in Australia to do business, a smarter Tasmania that invests in our greatest asset, our people, and a place where there are more people coming than there are leaving. And we're at a place where every Tasmanian has the opportunity to achieve that potential.
All right, Will Hodgman, thank you for that. And the final opening remarks go to the Leader of the Greens, Nick McKim. Nick.
Thanks, Tim. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It'll come as no surprise that I share the optimism for Tasmania's future espoused by David and by Will, but ultimately the one element above all else that will determine whether the Tasmanian economy will be a successful economy and whether our future will be the best it can possibly be, will be our people. If we want a healthy economy, we need to make sure we are united as a community, that we leave no Tasmanians behind and that we work together with a shared energy and shared goals. And later today, I'll speak a little bit more about how we can use our greatest asset, our people. But we also need to make sure that we have a strong, contemporary economic strategy and demonstrate fiscal discipline that can help us to achieve that strategy. The Greens have a demonstrated track record of fiscal responsibility. The debt reduction strategy that today sees Tasmania general government net debt free began under a Labor Green Accord, with the total support of the Greens at some political cost to the Greens and to Labor, I might add. And as a continuation of this commitment to fiscal responsibility, I today repeat the pledge made by the Greens in the early days of my leadership, and that is that we will not vote to block supply, no matter what government the Tasmanian people elect after the next election. This is a responsible pledge. It'll not only guarantee budget stability, but will, on all the evidence, increase investor confidence. And my challenge to David and Will today is make that same commitment. The 21st century will be defined by how we, as humanity, respond to the sustainability crisis. This can frame Tasmania's future, and today I look forward to outlining for you how the Greens intend to deliver that future.
All right, thank you very much, Nick. Now, the true definition of a working lunch might be sleeves rolled up and a platter of sandwiches around a boardroom table, but down the front of the room here today, 4 experts, a judges panel if you like, who will be asking questions of the 3 leaders as the debate itself comes to an end. And I wonder if you'd be good enough to put your hands together for the 4, if you're eating, just bank up or something, I don't mind. Bruce Felmingham, John White, Andrew Heap and Amanda Quiddy. Would you give our judges for today a big hand, and thank you very much. The way this next part of proceedings will work is on a number of what the TCCI has determined to be key election issues. The 3 fellows will in turn get the chance to state a position, but there'll be responses and rebuttal as we go through. It will be apparent in about 4 minutes from now. I'm thinking on the topic of population to begin. Tasmania is a small island, or a series of small islands, with a population of 500,000 people, and around 2% of the Australian population lives in Tasmania. We also, though, have the fastest ageing population in the nation. Today there are slightly more than 4 people of working age for every person over 65, but within 30 years there'll only be 2 people of working age to support those aged 65 and over. Evidently this trend is unsustainable in the long term, and the question for today is what can be done to ensure population growth does not stagnate, and how Tasmania avoids becoming an ageing demographic time bomb. 60 seconds from the Premier, David Bartlett.
Population growth, it is very clear, follows economic opportunity at the intersection of lifestyle appeal. Demographic change is both a challenge but also a significant opportunity for Tasmania. Since January 1999, over 40,000 jobs have been created in Tasmania. Since then, population up by 29,000. Population growth is not about gimmicks. It is about economic opportunity and lifestyle choice. In the terms of demographic challenge that we face, we must realign government services. That's why we have negotiated the closure of some 18 schools, and that's why the Deputy Premier is leading health reform right across the state. We also must realign our infrastructure as our population moves from west to east and our populations age. We must provide more government services where they are needed.
All right, David, thank you for that. 60-second response from Will Hodgman.